Well, I think that what Agri-Food Canada and the provinces and most importantly British Columbia are doing by providing this pavilion and these opportunities for small producers and harvesters is they're giving a chance for the small companies throughout the coast to participate in something without having to go through the many logistics in putting all of this together. That leaves the company to focus on direct sales, on understanding market research, market access issues, and being able to do that in an environment that is supported by very qualified provincial and federal government staff.
Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada is committed to supporting 8 flagship events. Flagship events are shows where the world shops, like China Fish and Seafood Expo. We buy floor space and build pavilions so the Canadian companies have a place to exhibit, a premier spot on a show floor, and as you can see at this event, we're right at the front door, which helps our Canadian companies gain exposure in this market and hopefully make sales, increase exports.
Well, you know, a lot of the little companies wouldn't be able to do it on their own. This way we give them a platform where they don't have to rent a 10 by 10. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we consolidate by sharing coolers with other companies and a podium style rather than renting a 10 by 10. So we put together the big platform square footage and then put podiums in there, which is a lot more effective. And it makes the booth seem a lot busier. If you look around, we seem like we're the busiest booth in the whole show by the way we've done this booth.
It's, you know, how the crowd mentality is. When people see lots of people around a particular booth, they think must be something good to sell. So that crowd mentality, I think, really helps to market our products. It's an excellent setup. It's great. We got our product display in front of us. We got a chef doing cooking demos. And the best thing is really sampling, right? Once a customer or potential customer tastes the product, they definitely would most likely want to buy that product.
This is a very prized seafood. It's sea cucumber. This is the skin. Traditionally it's dried and it's served at very special events. And we now sell it fresh frozen.
We have him in this show in Qingdao. He comes to the Boston Seafood Show. He comes to the Brussels Seafood Show. So, and then we also just had him in Guangzhou at a seafood promotion. And next year we hope to have him in Busan, Korea at our seafood show there. We think it's the best way for us to sample food from British Columbia by having a chef there to show how it's cooked and how it should be cooked. It really gives people a better idea of why our fish are better than any other place in the world.
And you want this at a really high heat because you want to sear.
You know what, I have such a variety of customers and I have a variety of products. Everybody likes their cucumber a special way, hence why I've developed so many products.
Most of the companies in Canada, we do the skin cooked, salted, and we call it half-dried, frozen. But some companies will start doing the whole cooked, and they do not scrape out the meat, but cook the whole sea cucumber. But it seems like China is about more and more wanting that kind of products.
Promoting the product, of course, but also seeing what the other market trends are. You can see where the competition is with other suppliers of sea urchin and sea cucumber. You get a feel for what the pricing's going to be, the demand, and you're flying the flag.
We've been told our reputation is very, very strong, and as part of this pavilion, we brand Canada very strongly so that potential buyers know what they're getting. They know they're getting quality Canadian products underneath the Canada banner.
I just came from the Busan show, but it seems this one is way bigger. And we did some business here. So it has been, compared to last year, this year we see a bigger booth for the Canadian. So it doubled the size.
The thing about the Korean market is Canada just completed a free trade agreement there. So as we used to have a 30%-ish tariff for seafood going into that country, those have now been reduced to zero, giving us an immediate price advantage.
Certainly British Columbia, one of the most important reasons to be in the Asian market is the proximity to the source of seafood. And perhaps even more importantly than that is the fact that that seafood is sustainable seafood, very much grown or harvested, produced in an environmentally sound fashion in sustainable waters, certified by environmental organizations and sustainable seafood organizations around the world. And combined with proximity and the sustainable nature of the way we produce seafood in British Columbia, this is an incredibly important market to be in.
Coming to the shows in Asia, it's become very apparent the quality is an important factor in determining the demand for our Canadian sea urchin product. Trying to supply the high-end market with the highest quality product. So we don't just catch any sea urchin, we try for the very best because we want our product to be known as the best product on the market.
I think it's an incredible success story for Canada and certainly for BC Seafood.
It's a benefit to all Canadian companies on the pavilion to advertise and let Chinese buyers know this is a product from Canada.
The seafood sector is a very important part of the BC economy. Certainly good support from BC, and then we're funded through the Agri-Food Canada, which is the federal government. That's where we get 50% of our funding. That's also very helpful.
We would just like to reiterate that Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada have been absolutely key to getting us ahead in this market, and we feel that these efforts are really starting to pay off. Thank you.
It seems everybody quite success. It seems the government had did a pretty good job.
I would like to see every British Columbia company that's in the seafood industry join us in one of these trade shows. We do trade shows around the world. This year we've been overrun. We just came from Busan, Korea with a bunch of BC companies in seafood. It was a very successful show. Then on to Guangzhou to another seafood promotion. And then here to Qingdao. And I'm telling you, the traffic at our booth has been something that none of us have ever witnessed in the past. It just tells you the demand for BC seafood.